welcome to today's video. Okay, nobody tell my friend that I saw this film. I asked him a couple weeks ago and I'm like, when we get together and hang out, can we go and see Werewolves Within? Because it looks a lot of fun and I think we both enjoy it. He looked up the trailer and he's like, yep, sounds good, I'm down. And then, you know, he was like, I'm working 12 days straight in a row, and I'm just like, fuck you, that's really rude of you to do that. I also don't think that's legal. Pretty sure that goes against Victorian work laws. But anyway, so I stumbled across the film and I'm just like, I have to watch it. I'm going to watch it right now. So I did. So I watched it last week and now I'm finally able to talk about it, so don't tell my friend. He and I are going to have to find something else to watch. Whoops. Werewolves Within is a 2021 American comedy horror film directed by Josh Rubin and written by Mishna Wolf based on the video game of the same name by Red Storm Entertainment. The film follows a group of people in a small Vermont town who get trapped in a snowstorm only to suspect one of them is a werewolf. I can at the very least say this was a fun film that made me very interested in playing the game. Learning this film was based on a game actually made me excited, and then learning the game was like a kiddie style animation had me a bit disappointed. I was hoping for something different. Some of the ways this film was made actually felt like playing a game, like first player kind of game, which was cool. I think there is a lot of fun to be had in this film. We have a really fun and eclectic group of characters with very big and bold personalities. Everyone stands out, no one blends into the woodwork. The only downside is they never really did anything with them. There was a couple characters where they pushed their personalities to crazy levels. One worked, one didn't quite hit the mark, but the other characters just remained the same, and I wish they'd let everyone just go completely nuts. I think it would have really added to the hilarity and just made this thing a more wild and memorable ride. I think they could have pushed the violence or gotten a bit more gruesome with it, though I can see they were trying to keep it toned down, being more subdued, but I would have loved to watch them go really in on the horror and the comedy. I think it could have been the next brilliant addition to the genre had they really gone for it. Aesthetically, it's great, location choices great, the characters are amazing, the performances are so on point, and yet it's just story and flow and a series of events that kind of hold it back. For starters, I knew from the beginning who the werewolf was, and it shouldn't have been that easy. It's really going for that old school and then there were none vibe, trying to figure out which one among you is the killer, and again they didn't commit to that as much as they could have, which meant I knew as soon as the character was introduced that they were the werewolf. Perhaps it won't be obvious to other viewers, but there's a trope that has been gaining more traction over the last couple years, and based on that trope I was very certain this film was going in that direction, and I was right. I naturally won't dive into that trope because I don't want to spoil it for the viewers. This isn't a terrible film. It's a really fun, light, easy watch, but it's not very memorable. There's nothing in it, a line or a scene that I'm gonna remember down the road. Even though they had a sea of good performances, there wasn't anything in the material to make me look back and go, oh, I love that character. This film in general is so up my alley. It has all the elements I love. I love how it's filmed. It's very pleasing to the eye, and I enjoy the accompanying score and soundtrack. It's just ultimately okay. It's nice. It's a very nice film. I just felt like everyone was at a 5 and I wanted it pushed to a 10. I just wanted more. That sounds so greedy, but it's because I know they could have given more, and somehow the entire film just feels like it was holding back. Would I watch this again? Sure. I think this is a fun film to watch with friends, to put on when you want to relax, maybe want to giggle. Not worthy of a sequel though. I liked it, but come the end of the year, I won't remember it, sadly. I think that I need to stop getting excited about movies. Pretty much every film I have been excited for this year has been an absolute disappointment. I was excited for Gunpowder Milkshake. That ended up being a disappointment. I was excited for Werewolves Within. That was a disappointment. I was excited for Fast and Furious 9. That was a massive letdown. I was excited for The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. That pissed me off. And I'm sure there were a couple others. And it seems like all the films that I was just like, I was excited for Black Widow and that exceeded my expectations, so that's one. But a lot of the films that I kind of went in with not really knowing much about them and not having much expectations kind of ended up you know, really wowing me, and everything else I'm just like, well, got my hopes up yet again. Thanks a lot, cinema. Yeah, I still think it's like worth a watch. Anything that I talk about, even if I hate it, even if I'm ranting and raving to the point I'm like, don't watch this film, I don't actually mean that. That's just me stressing how much that I don't like it, that I don't think anybody else should have to suffer through it. But if anything ever takes your fancy, or you see me talk about a film, I talk about it because I love talking about films. And if you haven't seen it, then I think anything that I talk about, you should definitely consider watching. Even if I say that I hate it, you should definitely consider watching it and deciding, do you hate it like me, or do you love it? If you hate it like me, then we can bitch about it together. If not, I'm just glad somebody else liked it. I haven't actually seen anybody say that they hated this film. I don't really think there's anything in it to hate, but, you know, matter of public opinion. But yeah, it just wasn't memorable. And it's a shame, because again, that was a really good trailer. I was just like, yeah, this looks like fun, and then I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, it's okay. It's alright. Again, one of the lead characters, I was just like, I feel like I've seen you in something before. And then I went through IMDb, I'm like, no, haven't watched any of those, so I don't know, it's all very complicated. But anyway, if you have seen Werewolves Within, please comment down below, share your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your take on this film. If you have played the game, I'm very keen to track this down and maybe try and play it. So if you've played it, please let me know what you thought about it. I would love to hear from you. That's it for this video. Wherever you are, stay happy, stay safe, stay healthy, watch lots and lots of movies, and I hope to see you, I can't watch you, but I hope to see you in my next video. So until then, bye!